Hello. Hold on, you guys. 1 minute. I'm back. I'm back with another video. Told y'all I was coming back. Hey, Bird Regina, thank you so much. Thank you to YouTube cameras and K-Fit. K, I ain't forgot about you. I try to keep up with you with the politics. Girl, I would love to talk to you about some politics. But thank you for joining me. Welcome back. I told you guys I am going to try and Sharaka King Black. I was gonna mark that up. What's up, everybody? What's up? I hope you all had a good day, Queen Diva. Thank you, baby, for dropping down. I want to thank Kimberly Black. Also, she dropped down at the end yesterday. Sometimes I think Kimberly be up in the bushes. Mama Lola, I need to get on here. Prayerfully, all is well with Mama Lola. I know y'all know, or you heard me say before, she's an older lady that has been watching me from the start. And she keep me in her prayers and we stay in contact. And I haven't been in contact with her. So when I jump off here, I definitely need to go over to my Mz.Teavalocity Gmail and write her. I pray all is well with everyone and everybody had a great day. I'm home and I'm ready. Now listen, we all have traveled these streets and I know some of us be in the same places with this Nolan Wells thing. I don't know, the more that I listen to it and I check out other, podcasts, other content creators, it's something, I don't know, it's something just not sitting right with me. And I know it's the same with you all because we all still have questions. And we're going to have questions to the very end of this investigation. Now, I don't want to seem insensitive when I say this, and y'all, please, don't take it wrong. Make sure you hit that like button, right? That like button. But I watched the parents on several channels, talk shows, the news and everything. And I don't know. And I pray that I never have to feel what they feel about something happening to their child. People show emotions in different ways. But as I was traveling the streets, I hear you. I had several people who thought like me. And see, I don't want to never be insensitive or re-victimize the victim or their family. That I'm not going to do. But I can't help but to let y'all know what my spirit leads me to believe. Now, I can't tell people how to grieve, but when I saw the parents today on the show, I was kind of perplexed. And maybe it's good for the mom to be upbeat to a certain degree and not show emotion because someone has to hold the family together. And you have to hold yourself together when you present yourself on these different shows and stuff like that. You can't always break down. I just felt something weird today. The energy for me when I was watching was a little different, but I don't really want to say anything negative, about the parents, but the energy was a little off for me. And then as I was traveling the streets, of course, when it's time for us to kick in, for some celebrities to kick in, they do what they can do financially, right? And so they have this GoFundMe. So you got people bashing them for the large GoFundMe. But it makes you think, see, because this investigation is going to go on regardless whether they have 750,000, whether they reach a million, they have to pay some cost. But I wonder, not just for this case, but people in general, when they get to GoFundMe's for legal representation and different things, where does the rest of that money go? We don't know how much their legal representation costs. We don't know. We know Ben Crump, and it's something, hey, DC Sugar, it's something about Ben Crump that I personally don't care about. He's always on the scene when things like this happen. And why do they always seek him out to be their representative or their lawyers when it's thousands? I'm telling you, it's a lot of Black lawyers out here that could represent. But people run to Ben Crump. Is it because Ben Crump's so good? Because when I hear him talk, I'm like, for me, I personally wouldn't hire him. But I don't know how many cases he wins. How much justice does he get for our people? And of course, we know Al Sharpton is always on the scene because he advocates for justice for Black folk. But there's always those two people, and there's always Ben Crump. And I'm just wondering, how much of that money goes towards the investigation, on their part? Because I don't know the cost of stuff, and I can't say that they're just getting money, but a lot of money is given to these people. And whatever they do with it, when you give, you always give from the heart. I was always told to give from the heart. So I give you something, I'm giving from the heart. So these people are given for a good cause, But it seems like money is always involved, and it's lots of money. So I'm interested in are they really out there to really help these families seek justice, or are they out there for the bag? You have to make money. That's your job. I'm sure you work tireless hours trying to figure out what's going on. But like I said, it's always been Crump. I personally get a vibe from Ben Crump. And I don't want to seem insensitive, and I don't want to I don't want it to sound like I'm telling them where they spend their money or how much to spend the money. But if I don't know how much they have reached in the GoFundMe for so far. Now I know it's Ben Crump representing them. Now Carmelo Anthony is a little different. He has a whole legal team, so that's gonna suck up a lot of money, unless they doing it pro bono. And I don't know if they are. But Ben Crump and Al Sharpton being the face of the justice for this young man, Nolan Wells, we know they're going to get paid, but I'm just wondering, I hope their hearts are always in the right place when they go to represent these people and they really give 100%. Like I said, I don't know the number of people Ben Crump represented. I don't know. I don't know how many cases he won. I just think they view this guy as a good lawyer. It's still talking about the mess. We gonna talk about that too when I get to the Jay-Z thing. But so, as I was traveling the streets, you always hear good and bad, negative, positive. You had people questioning that, and then it just made me think. I'm just wondering where all the money goes to. Who's really benefiting from the thousands of dollars that people are pouring in to help these people get justice? Sometimes you wonder if they can give the money directly to Ben Crump. I know the parents probably will need money for other things, the autopsy. But that just ran across my mind because you have people somewhere else. That doesn't change or negate the fact that we have a young man unalive and we don't know how it happened. We know it happened. We know he's not here present with us. So we know something happened. But I'm not too sure on exactly what happened. So as I was traveling the streets, I watched Don Lemon, and Don Lemon was on for a long time. And Don Lemon has a great podcast, right? So he had Reese and he had Monique. Monique, I believe, is an attorney from the DC area. Correct me if I'm wrong. When she was talking, I think they had got a little frustrated because she was saying that they need to wait and that the people don't have to give us a daily update or update on their investigation. And to a certain extent, I agree with her. But then I also agree with Don Lemon. They should tell the people something because we're looking for answers because it's not sitting well in our spirit anyway. And whether it's right or wrong, however they find us, is never going to sit right in our spirit because I believe we have been unjustly done for so many years that it's hard for us to understand. Even if they came and said to us, they found out, which I think will be the case. She's from Baltimore. Thank you, baby. I knew she was around this area somewhere. If the case may be, that this young man drowned, we're not going to believe it anyway. And so after a couple of months, this too shall go away. And that's what bothers me because when we stand for a cause, it should be long term. We should continue to keep this gentleman, alive until we seek justice. But there's different levels to this. Diva and I was talking today, and I don't know where Diva at. Hey, Tay Beck. She said she was mine, so she didn't hear me. But you remember yesterday when I said that these people are interconnected, and when you are at a different status and a different level, and you judges and you lawyers, and you part of the protect and serve, that they have a connection, a deep connection, where they actually protect each other, something we should do. They protect each other. So Diva is saying to me, did you know the little boy's mother was a judge? Now, I'm not sure what little boy she was talking about. But yesterday, I was being facetious, but I was being for real when I said, when shit like this happens, this is what they do. Hey, Tom, something just happened so bad today, and so is in so much trouble. An incident happened. I need you to help me get rid of it, or I need you to help me work it out. So they have that connection. So Tom, who's supposed to be doing the investigating, helps her work it out. And the workout normally is a cover-up. And I think the same thing is going to happen in this case. Because when you have a judge, and I believe she's a sitting judge, no matter what her judgeship is over, she's still connected. And then I explained to Diva, I said, don't you ever think for 1 minute when the defense, the prosecutor go in there, they party together. They already know the outcome of a lot of this stuff before we know. And that's really the unjust thing and the unfair thing, that they are so tight netted and they interconnected that we don't get fair justice. So you think you're getting a public defender or somebody to defend you, attorney, and it turns out that they're cool. When we not around, they having drinks, they partying. They talk about the shit and outcome of it, and we don't know anything about it. We don't have any knowledge of it, but that's how they work. So even if this is deemed a cover-up, allegedly, and these people are involved, we'll still never get justice. But that does not mean that our voices can't be heard. We still have to make our voices heard because it's not just going to be Nolan Wells. It's going to be a couple of Nolan Wells because that's just how it goes. More and more Black people are coming up unalive at the hands of some other ethnic groups. And what happens? Nothing. After a couple of weeks, the chatter stops, and then something else, they'll throw something else at us for us to be focused on. So do I think justice is served? I pray justice will be served, but do I think that there is a cover-up going on? There will be a cover-up, and hopefully we'll get some answers, but I don't think we're going to get very many answers because the heat only stays hot for a couple of weeks and months. And then we move on to the next thing. It's not a consistent thing, And then, at one point you get people with power to come down and show you their power, if you get what I'm saying. Hopefully this won't happen in this case, but it sounds like it's going to happen. So when Don Lemon and the lady was going back and forth, they cool. They know each other. They cool. He said that's what him and Monique do. They do that on the podcast and off the podcast behind the scenes. She seemed like she was gearing towards it. Maybe it's just her legal aspect of it. Like, give them time. We just have to let them investigate. Something happened to some twins years ago, and it took years to investigate. See, we are anxious. We don't have years to wait. Hopefully, it don't take years. But she was saying that they don't have to come out and tell people anything. Don said with social media and, anxiety and all what's going on, yes, they need to come out and tell us how far the investigation is going, what they're doing in the investigation. Maybe not word for word to muddy the case. You don't want them to muddy the case either. And with people spread narratives and all these different things going on, it can muddy the water, right? So as an attorney or an investigator, you have to stay focused on the evidence at hand. So I understood where she was coming from, but I also understood where Don Lemon was coming from. He had a long show. And Reese, they jumped on her because she made a couple of statements. Now, yes, I'm going to wait for the investigation. We don't have a choice, right? But I'm just hoping that the investigation is fair. They're waiting for the autopsy to come back and to see what the autopsy said. So there's still some irons in the fire, and there's going to be irons in the fire for a long time. But again, hopefully, when we'll see some justice. You're right. They don't take long. And that's what Don Lemon basically was saying. And other people were saying, when it's non-Black, it don't take long. When it's Black, it takes a long, long time for us to ever get results. And that's where we get anxious. That's where we get upset. And that's why, you have people making this a racial thing. Right? Is a racial thing. The first thing you think about is something racially motivated in some cases, different things, is because so much shit have happened to us. If the same thing happened to us year after year after year, we're going to react the same way. You're going to get the same results from us. But hopefully it doesn't go. Hopefully it doesn't go as we think. But I absolutely think they're putting together, for me, what I believe, they're putting together a lock solid case of a cover-up. I do believe that. Because they're trying to say, and Monique used this term today, which made me kind of side-eye her. Oh, well, when people drown, if people drown and this happens to people or they go missing, she used that word drown as if she was somehow indicating, and maybe I misunderstood, that perhaps he really did drown. Nothing in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, in my body tells me that kid drowned. Now, they saying the pictures going around, and we have to be very careful. We have to be careful because, things are AI generated, old pictures researched. Because remember, people are trying to influence us to believe one thing, right? So they said the pictures that we actually saw, that picture I showed yesterday, was not from 4th of July's pool party. They said that picture was taken a long time ago. or after. But it could have been taken after. Somebody said, oh, that picture was taken after this. Could have been, because the person that we thought we saw as to be Nolan was in that pool. So that picture couldn't have been after party picture. You know, a picture that came after. It had to be either before or that particular day. Right? So you got to understand that, yes, people do put up all these pictures and they say what they believe happened, you know, without validation. That's what the internet does. So we have to be very careful on that. So when I woke up today, somehow this came past my Instagram feed. Now, I don't know who this Caucasian little guy was, you know, but I'm going to tell you what he said. I looked for his video again on Instagram because I was at work, so I couldn't capture the damn video. Yeah, I think, did I watch it this morning or when I was at work? No, I think I watched it while I was at work. So I couldn't, you know, save it. So I went to look for it again just a few minutes ago and I couldn't find. But this guy did an Instagram post saying, now, this is allegedly, this is what the guy's saying. This is not what Mz.Teavalocity is saying. Again, allegedly, this is what happened. He claimed, now I don't know where he get his information from, and maybe you guys are better at getting on Instagram looking up stuff than I am, but he claims that, again, I don't know where he got his information from. It's just something came across my feed and I looked at it. He said that he knows for a fact that they unalived that little boy by beating him with a metal pole or pipe. Now that's what he said. I can't find it else. I will show you all. It could be deleted. But he said how actually this kid became unalive, that he was beat while everybody stood around and watched as these two guys beat him with a metal pole. Now, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. Again, that's what the investigation should be for. Now, they perhaps, I don't know where he got that from. It was on Instagram. Maybe they will ask him where he got that information from. Again, we have to be very careful on what we take in when it comes to cases like this and other things, because we do know social media could muddy the waters and narratives could be spun and truths could be lies and lies could be truths in some people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere down the line, something happened to this kid. I do believe perhaps he got in an altercation and it went too far. It went extremely, extremely too far. I do believe that. I do not believe that this kid fell off the boat somehow and drowned. You know, they waiting for toxicology to come back. I told you when I looked at the pool party, it looked like everybody was drinking. I never saw any pictures that they presented to us so far with him with any drinks in his hand. Now I saw the other people with drinks in their hand, but I didn't see him with a drink in his hand. So I don't know, but again, when the autopsy is done, they'll do toxicology and some other things. I'm just afraid that because the position and the power that these people may have, that these other kids will be in fear to tell the truth, what they saw. We did yesterday listen to Willie D, and that girl wrote that post. We don't know how legit that post is. They said he had a friend, a dear friend of his, come up there and say that was his voice that people heard. So we don't know what's facts and what's non-facts. We just truly really have to wait for the investigation. And hopefully it's not years like Monique said. Monique said some twins, something, how they committed, they unalived themselves. And it took them years for them to come out with the final determination that they both had unalived themselves. She says, so we just have to wait and know they don't need to update us every day or, you know, frequently on how the investigation go. And I thought, well, that's a way of thinking because, again, she's part of, the legal system. She's an attorney, and she said that's how she do things. She would automatically tell her people not to go out and say anything. So my father and mom used to say back in the day to not trust those folks. It's not just those folks, because I was when I was talking to Diva earlier today, we got to think about the Shankrilla Robinson situation. She was with her own people, and they set her up. Now they say this little boy, his friend, set him up. Like I said, you just hearing all kinds of shit. You don't know what to believe. They say they used his friend to set him up, and his friend knows more than what he's saying. But again, hopefully they will do a thorough investigation with all these children, because they know what happened. And someone is going to tell it. They're going to either tell it out of fear, or they're not going to tell it out of fear. They saying they getting threats and stuff from different people. The kid that was revealed who didn't want to be revealed. Now I thought that was fucked up too. Here this kid is telling his story, supposed to be his good friend. And he said he didn't want to come on camera. Someone released a picture of this kid by Nolan, saying that was the kid who said that it was his voice that was heard about the phone. It wasn't Nolan's. Now this kid has to be subject to harassment. That wasn't right. If he asked not to be shown, not to be named, and he wanted to stay anonymous, no one should have put that kid picture out there, because that puts him in fucking jeopardy now. And the same thing that happened to Nolan could possibly happen to him for opening his mouth. So I think whoever did that, and I'm not sure who did it, but I did see a picture of the kid and Nolan, and supposedly he was the guy saying that he was Nolan's good friend, and it wasn't Nolan who was asking for his phone back. It was him. So now you jeopardizing another kid. I don't know, you guys. That's why social media for things like this could be a double-edged sword. Yes, we want to get our voices out there, and yes, we want to be heard, and yes, we want to make sure that we get thorough investigations and the right thing is done, because we want to seek justice. However, sometimes we can fuck things up. Just that simple. Now, I would feel some kind of way if I was the parent of that kid and his picture got out there. And I'm sure you all saw it, right? And hopefully nothing happens to that kid. But these kids are probably afraid to say what really happened, because they're in fear for their lives. And sometimes folks can really cut the fuck up. And we can really cut up. We could really cut up. And if they dox you over here and do all that doxing, they could definitely dox him and start getting his shit, threatening him and his family. So I just don't think that was cool to do. I really don't. Let the law handle it. That's what we always say. Let the law handle it. But the law don't really always work in our favor. That's the fucked up part about it. They don't always work in our favor. Excuse my French, but I'm just, hey, YouTube cameras, thank you, sugar. I wish you a happy birthday the other day, sweetheart. I was at work, so I didn't drop down, but I definitely put you something. Happy birthday. I hope you had a blessed and an eventful birthday. So we can just really get real ignorant, as they would say. And sometimes we have to do that so people know that we're about that life if you muck with us, okay? So I pray that kid is safe, because he shouldn't have been revealed. So let's see what else. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Like I said, people was talking about the mother. I did see she was on the news or somewhere, and she was, Lord, please help me say the right thing, because we don't know how people grieve, and I just don't want to say the wrong thing. But she was in good spirits somewhat. But who am I? I guess She appeared to be in good spirits, but then again, she probably had to hold herself together to present herself on all these shows. Okay? I'm gonna just put it like that. The father always have appeared to be somber and sad, and he doesn't say too much. But mom is doing most of the talking, and like I said, she appears to be in good spirits. But I know she has to be in pain as well, and it may be just a show for the camera. You know, we do it all the time. Everything is not always going well in our life, but you could turn on the camera and pretend life is just great, and it's not. She's hurting inside, but it was strange. I wished I wouldn't have saw that because it made me think a little different. I just wish I wouldn't have seen that, you know. But do I expect her to get on every show and be broken that down? Not really, but I don't expect her to be smiling and giddy. And I mean, that's just me. That's just me, y'all. Don't jump on me, you know, but that's how I really feel. I, you know, I think perhaps, you know, that some of the, you know, interviews and stuff for them will die down a little bit and then will subside. I shouldn't use that word, should subside, allow them to grieve in peace. Not every time they turn around, somebody call them to do an interview or to get their take on it. Now, I want to ask y'all, I think many of y'all know that Ben Crump is the #1 Black attorney that these people call. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know his record. Maybe just Andrea Sugar, thanks for joining me. I don't know his record, but he's the #1 attorney, it seems like, in all these cases, you know, that they call him. I can't imagine there's no other attorneys being out there who would help you seek justice as Ben Crump. What do y'all think about Ben Crump? Let me ask you that. I mean, have y'all seen him? Hey, Ronnie Q, good to see you. How you doing, Ronnie Q, baby, over there in the politics? Girl, okay, I'll get to that, Ronnie Q. Just hang there, because I want you, and I think I told you, baby, to watch Midas Touch, and I've had it. Those two girls, them white women cracked me up, and the Midas Touch, because I know you do politics. So I wanted to get to you and Kate Fit to tell y'all, please watch those two people and come back and let me know, because I watch them every day. Believe it or not, I'm still watching politics as well. So if you know Ben Crump, what do you think about Ben Crump? Why do you think they always seek out Ben Crump? That makes it look like, you know, that ambulance chaser story. Like if something happened to you, you always have those attorneys that's on standby. You know, you go to the hospital, the first thing they ask you, was this related to a car accident? Because if you say, yeah, well, we have somebody here for you to talk to, you know, like ambulance chasers. I don't know. That guy just give me that vibe that he's on the case. How many goddamn cases can he do? You know, how many cases do you all know of that he has really got justice? Ah, okay. Okay, there you go. See, Ronnie Q, that's why I'm asking, because I don't want that vibe. You know, I just get that feeling. He has a great team. Okay. And so when we talk, I think because he is the most popular attorney. See, I thought because he was the most popular attorney. Ronnie Q is saying because he has a great team behind him and he gets the job done. Because when I look at him, my thought about him is a little different. You know, whether I would seek him as an attorney. But if he has a great team and he gets the job done, I probably would too. I'm just, you know, I'm just thinking they're always on the scene. Ben Crump is on the scene for everybody, but you're telling me because he has a great team. Thank you, Ronnie Q, for helping us out. He's okay. He gets the truth. Thank you, Just Andrea, for helping me out. See, you guys know it's his team of attorneys. Cool. Okay, they must be a beast. They say the guy that Carmelo, they say the team Carmelo Anthony has, they are a beast too. They say they ain't nothing nice either. So hopefully we'll get justice for both of those children. Now, when I talked yesterday Ah, there you go. Y'all letting me know. Because I'm like, Ben Crump, he just talks slow, maybe because he had that, the way he talks kind of throw me off. But then they can say that about me too. Hey, TC, what's going on, baby? So I'm glad y'all told me he has a great team. So what I need to do is just research his team. So do you all believe that perhaps they will get justice for Nolan Wells? Do you all believe that? You could put it in the chat, yes or no. Do you believe justice will be sought for him? It is trying, and that they will get real answers. Ben Crump and them will get the job done. Because, see, I see a cover up. And that's why I said, especially like I said, it's pretty tough when you have interconnected people like judges and lawyers working together. He is from the South at Mz. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I can see it. I can see it. He's from the South, and maybe he's a little slow in talking. And I see. Are you divided? Why are you divided on that answer, though, Ronnie Q? Because I'm divided as well. I'm divided on whether or not that we will get justice, only because of the people they are connected with. Not because I don't have confidence now that y'all say in Ben Crump's team. It's just a little different. It's just a little different, you guys, when you going up against certain legal teams or legal people that in those rims. Like I said, they have to continue to do each other favors because they do a lot of cover-ups. They do a lot of burying some of the real shit that goes on, the truth and the facts. They bury those and they stay buried and they stay amongst themselves. Because remember, Ronnie Q, I asked you to do me a favor. Now you get in trouble and I say to you, now don't forget I got you out that DWI jam. Let's keep that in mind, and then you'll say, remember when I got your son out of that, that trouble down there at shoplifting. So you owe me. Sanitize, exactly, Ronnie Q. If you want to, I'll drop the link, you guys, for a little while. We just pray and hope that we get justice. Like I said, we're so used to not getting justice that it's sad, but you almost prepare yourself for the worst. I hate to say that, but I think because we so used to getting shitted on, y'all, especially when it comes to, different people, clear people. And Diva told me to watch saying that. She said, because you have clear people watch, not all people are the same. I could say, even when it comes to us, we have to watch people. We have to watch, Let me see if somebody want to jump up here. I believe they're going to get, let me see what Andrea said. I got to readjust my mouse. I believe they're going to get to the truth. It's only a matter of time. Ben Crump is patient and he will get to the truth no matter what. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Okay. Regina, I'm like you. Andrea and Ronnie Q, I just hope so. Hold on. Let me make sure that's you, Q. I just hope and pray so. Yep, that's you. Hey, Ronnie Q.
Hey, Mz.Teavalocity, how are
Good to
you?
see you. Thank you for coming up, baby. And here comes just Andrea. Let me just authenticate her. Not that we have that shit going on over here, but hey, thank you for joining me. Ronnie Q, go ahead and give me your 2 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 25.
Hey, just Andrea. Okay, I covered this as well because it's so disheartening. Now, let me premise this is as I have family members. I'm familiar with the South, the bad parts of the South. I used to go to the South, spend summers in the South. Some of my best time as a child was growing up in the South. Don't get it wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
there were plenty cautions that we were given growing up in the South. And see, this new generation of, one of the things that really bothered me was that TMZ interview that his friend gave. Now, this was the black guy.
I
This
missed it.
Yeah, okay. So this guy was the child of the mother who went to pick up the phone. So this really was who they considered a friend of the family.
Okay.
Now, see, the way these young children act and talk right now is a little strange and mind blowing. But they asked him, "Do you think that this is a case of race?" And he it acted as if, "No, well, I don't want to answer that question." Excuse me? But you're supposed to be his real friend. Your
Right.
mother went over to pick up his phone from someone who called her and told her that he was not back on the land, and never told her that he had his phone without letting his mother know that he had her phone. So,
Wow.
yeah, she talked to the person who actually had his phone, and he never said no. But I have his phone. She had to trace his phone, and only to find out the person she had talked to earlier had his phone. See, I have a little issue with that.
I
Uh,
agree.
but he sat up there and said, "Well, what?" And then they asked him, "Well, did the police talk to you?" He's like, "Well, what would they have to talk to me before? I already gave them my plea." Your what, sir?
Your plea. Did you
Sir,
say plea?
my plea. I already gave them my plea. What are you pleading,
What
sir?
do you?
Now you notice the other person that came out today when they were talking about the fight that was on the boat, and this young man who I'm talking about on the TMZ interview, he also said that the voice who was in the argument, it sounded too close to the video to be the fight that was happening far away from the camera. That voice was too close to the camera. So I don't think it was him. So what you're doing is you're giving plausible deniability to the people who have not come out and given an answer to the many questions. You're giving them room for deniability. The friend. And then another black young man came out. I don't know if is who you were talking about, whose picture was revealed. Who he
Right.
came out today, yesterday, and said, "No, that was my voice. I was the one who was asked." Is that who you're talking about?
That's who I'm talking about. And
I was
so,
asking for my phone. That was my voice. So now, here we have another shoe
another,
gumming raccoon coming out, giving plausible deniability to people who have lawyered up, but
yeah.
they're out here running their mouths, giving them room. Now, okay,
Let me say something
I
good.
may have gone a little far.
No.
That's how it appears to me at this moment.
Okay.
At this moment.
Good.
Now, let me end with this right quick, right real quick. Now, see, the problem with this is if you're going to do an investigation, see, the body wasn't waterlogged. If you have been in the water since the 4th of July and you're found on the 6th of July, your body's going to be waterlogged. Your all of your body is going
Good.
to soak up water. You're going to weigh more
Yeah.
than you weighed. Everything is going to be
Exactly.
waterlogged. We understand
Exactly.
if you're in the the Gulf of Mexico, there may be some crab activity on your eyeballs. Let's be adults about this. This is what's going to happen. There may be some crawfish activity on your nostrils. It may be hard to look at your face. But what did the police officer say? That they had to identify him by dental records.
His dental.
Dental
So,
records. But
by his
they
dental.
said his body was not waterlogged. So if you had to, if his face was in a bad way, if Mz.Teavalocity, you have
Yes.
children.
I,
Now, if would you be able to go up to a body and them having to put a T-shirt or cover your child's face? Would you be able to identify their arms, their legs, their toes, their fingers? Would you be able to say,
I
yeah,
would, to a certain
thank
extent,
you,
yes, I would.
to a
Yep.
certain extent?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you would
uh,
be able to. Yeah.
this is the scar that they got in the third day
Yeah.
grade. These are
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
stitches
I
that
would be
I
able
mean,
to.
come on.
Yeah. This is the
What we talking about
birthmark.
here?
I know my son got cut there, or he fell. My oldest boy tripped over a chain, and he has a cut. I would know him. Yeah, I would know him. He got a cut.
I know
Yeah.
his skin. He got a light patch of skin
Yeah.
right there above his elbow because
Yeah.
he had a keloid. Right? Come on. What we
I
talking
would
about here?
know. You right.
Okay, now
Right.
another thing. That this is my last thing that I want to say about this.
No, go ahead.
When we take people into question them about situations, how many of us watch interrogation shows on YouTube? The First 48, any of these investigative shows where they bring somebody in. They can bring them in just to question them. They are not they are free to go on their own whenever they want to go. When they question them, what do? Sometimes they'll say, well, do you mind if we get a DNA sample? And they don't have to, they can get up and go. They're still free to go. Well, what happened on your hands? Let me see your hands. Can you hold your hands out? Let me take
Yeah.
a picture of your hands. Now,
Yeah.
if there's accusations of there possibly being some physical altercations,
Yeah.
to the point that this young man has to be identified through his dental records. Now we haven't heard any other injuries to his body. Could it be possible that his body has other injuries? And if his body has other injuries, could it be possible that somebody else's body has other injuries that injured him,
Exactly.
and therefore when you're questioning these people, you would do what
No.
every other police officer do when you question them. You say, well, let me see your hands, open your shirt,
Yeah.
let me see your back, take
Yeah.
pictures. Or have these people had since the 4th of July up until what's today, the 14th, to heal, for their bodies to heal? That's
Exactly.
what these are the things that I want to know.
I agree. And you know what? That's why I said the cover up begins. I believe that for me, is a strong possibility that at that party, if they actually had a party and they all saying they was at a pool party, I believe that something took place at that residence, or as they were leaving off the property, something took place. And when the shit took place, they ran back and let their parents or whomever know this. Allegedly, this is just what Miss T is saying. This is not fact. They went back and said, oh shit, mom, so and so happened. And it went from there what to do. She called so and so, her connect, and they said, don't worry, we'll take care of this. Hopefully, that's not how it really happened, but that's the way I'm gonna say it kind of happened. You get what I'm saying? Because the
But
cover up, huh?
I'm kind of skeptical about the pool party situation.
Yeah, I don't
First,
believe I don't believe it was a pool party. But what I do believe,
You
okay?
don't?
No, I don't believe that was a pool party. But I believe
Oh,
that pool party was earlier. But what I do believe is, if you go back and listen to Nolan's daddy, okay, on Good Morning America, and daddy said the ex-coach called and said they went out the next day at 5 o'clock in the morning. The daddy said they walked that island themselves, got off the island, walked it itself, and then got back on the boat and went around. You could tell me that that body should have been there. That body wasn't there. That body was put back there the next day.
That body was
And the reason I will say this, because somebody said at 3 o'clock in the
3
morning,
in the
when that boat was
morning.
docked at the judge's house, they was cleaning that boat. Look,
No,
my
no.
ex-husband is an ex-boat, have boats, and we don't
But
clean the boat until the next day. Why are you cleaning the boat at 3 o'clock in the morning?
but what you're not what you're also overlooking, that there was also, now there was routine people going across the island right before they found his body. And it wasn't there on that Sunday, but that Monday morning it was there right before they were scheduled to do their patrolling of the island. That body was put back there. And
that's what I
well, hold on.
Wait, Andre,
Hold on. I can't remember the channel. I saved it. There was a report from a cop, and they have it on. They have his voice saying that a body was found at 3:20 something in the morning near the island. This is what's not being widely reported. That body allegedly. I'm saying this allegedly. Now we have the they had the actual sound of somebody saying, yeah, we found a body at like 3:21 in the morning on Monday morning. And then nothing else was said. Now they also these teens who left him on the island. Why did they call the what do you call the people who patrol the ocean? Why did they call the Coast Guard after 11 o'clock? Why did they call them? And the Coast Guard asked them, are you saying that somebody's in danger, that somebody needs help? And then they said, no, we're not saying that. And then the Coast Guard was like, oh, okay. So the Coast Guard didn't put out anything for a search. The Coast Guard didn't go out for a search until 5 p.m. the next day, because when they were called at 11 the night before, the person who called, who was boating with Nolan, didn't address this as someone on the island could be missing. Now, also, this is why I don't believe the thing about the swimming pool was real. The pool party was real. It didn't have a stamped date. And additionally, what you know is that whoever this girl, she said that they got thrown out of the woman's house at almost 2 in the morning. But we know that that woman sent her friend to pick up his cell phone after 11 p.m. And when she picked up the cell phone, she picked it up from one of the houses of one of the boys who was out with Nolan. And then when the father went and picked up his car, he picked it up from the house of one of the boys who was out with Nolan also. Now we don't know whose houses this cell phone was at and whose house this car was at. They were at different houses, but it was not beyond 1 or 2 in the morning. And one of them is playing sleep. Now you're playing sleep. You mean to tell me you know that Nolan is missing? He has to come back and say, look, man, I'm just looking for my son. And you never it never snaps to you like, wait a minute, what do you mean? That never happened. That conversation was never had when the father came and said, hey man, I'm just looking for my son. I'm just trying to find him. You mean to tell me nobody never said, what do you mean, sir? What do you mean you're looking for him? No, that conversation was never had. Warriors were got.
So y'all saying, just let me get this clear, because you guys have way more information, and I thank you so much for jumping up here to help me out with it, because you guys saw it. So y'all saying to me that you don't ever think a pool party took place?
No, that's a distraction, Miss T.
The
That
the
dude,
pool party
that
happened
pool
way
party,
days
and that
before.
other boo. That's a distraction that keep us from learning the truth. They are
Um,
throwing that in our face, and they playing in our
ah,
face to keep us from learning the truth. That's a distraction.
that's what I thought. I said because when they look back at the pool party, they saying he was at the pool party, but how could he be at the pool party? So thank you for clearing that up for me, Andrea and Robin Q. So that's a distraction.
Yes,
That's a
they
distraction.
throwing this stuff in our face to distract us. With the mama said this morning with Ben Crump and her husband, that second dude that did an interview with ABC News. She don't even know who that person is. That person ain't never been to her house. She don't know who that person is. The mother
And
said
he
this morning,
identified himself as his
Nolan's
best
friend.
friend.
Yeah,
He said
Oh,
he is Nola's best friend. She said, let me be clear. I don't know that young man. He has
oh,
never
you would
been
know
to
his
my
best
house.
friend. You would
She
know
said,
his best friend.
as far as growing up with him, no, he's never grown up with him. He may have met him sometime in high school, but no.
Oh,
So
shit.
he's a liar, and
So he sent somebody
wanting
a lot.
wanting to plug himself. You know how they get useless idiots to go out there and do their
Yeah,
dirty work.
yep,
Useless
yep.
idiots,
Charlie
useful
Kirk,
idiots,
Charlie
should I
Kirk
say?
situation. Charlie Kirk situation. Yeah, they do that. I'm so glad y'all hit me to that because when I heard today and I saw the pool party, they said those pictures was old. So you're right, they using that to distract us and throw us off.
And
Stand
this the
by.
thing, Miss T. If Nolan's friends is talking, these brothers are whites. Okay, we need the white boys to talk, not the black boys who they sit out there and pay. Because I believe TMZ paid the young man to talk to them.
And
Okay,
you know they hands, and you know their hands are in every
yeah,
goddamn thing. And
and
how
this the
they
thing.
always the first on scene. See,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Those hold that right there. Andre. That's where I tell you that all this should be connected. These people be connected, y'all. They are behind the scenes connected. Because you're right, it's a strong possibility that they did make him the crash dummy. We'll say it like that. They put him in the car to crash, right? So now they got this kid's picture. If that's the same one y'all talking about, they got his picture plastered all over the internet. So you already know what's gonna come with
But
that.
he had already given his full name, so I don't even understand what the point of him talking about he couldn't go on camera for. They had his first and last name when he was they were talking about what he had to say. So blah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Welcome to
They
the
Uh,
they
show.
they put they
useful
put them out there to
idiots.
distract us. They put them out there so we cannot get to the truth. This is I'm telling you, Ben Crump know what he doing. He letting this go because he patient. He's waiting and waiting and waiting. We gonna get to the truth. And you know what?
Okay.
If we keep Nolan's name live on the internet and on
That
TikTok and over there on Instagram, we gonna get to the truth. It's just a matter of time. We gotta be a little patient.
okay. Thank you. TC, what's happening? Welcome to the panel. What's your take on this? TC? 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 Go ahead, Ronnie. So I'm glad you guys told me because you see way more than me. I'm at work trying to get beats and pieces. And because I've said that I was going to come on trying to be consistent, I haven't been able to watch everything. But I told you, Ronnie Q, let me ask you, did you just mention a pipe?
No, I didn't miss. I know I didn't
You
mention a
didn't
pipe.
mention that it was a pipe on the boat?
No, but no, I didn't mention a pipe. No,
Oh, okay.
that was some allegations that were alleged about him about the pool situation. So
Oh,
I don't buy into the whole pool situation. I think that is another lie
okay.
that Todd put out to frame Candy for something, whatever they say
So,
for Real
because
Housewives of.
But
Go ahead.
I
wait,
do.
hold on, Andre, so I can get this out because you know I forget. But did you hear me? You wasn't here earlier when I said I saw this white guy on Instagram and he did a post and he said, now this is alleged, this is what he said. I went to look for the post. If y'all find it, let me know. But he said that he was told that they beat him to death with a pipe while everyone stood around and watched him. He got into an altercation with one of those guys and they commenced to beating him with a pipe while everyone stood by and watched. Where the hell he get that information from? I don't know. Like I said, we have to be careful what we absorb because the waters could get muddy. We don't know the truth from the lies, right?
But the thing about it is, would that be hard to believe?
No,
would that be?
And that's why I believe they was cleaning the boat. That's why I believe that. Like I watched on Willie D. What will possess you now? We have rented pontoons and boats and stuff when my kids were little, and you do have to clean them before you return them. I don't know. Hey, Free Thinker. I don't know who this was, who this boat belonged to. But I know when we rented them, we had to thoroughly clean it and take it back, right?
But let me tell you something.
Cleaning the boat 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning just don't seem normal if you rent it.
See, a lot of people
vampire hours.
A lot of people think that it would be odd for a big audience of people to stay quiet after seeing something like that happen. But our history disproves that. Our history disproves that to be a fact. Because if we go throughout our history of lynching, especially the lynchings in Mississippi, people used to bring their children, used to dress up in their Sunday best, and used to picnic to lynchings in Mississippi. Right. Used to take souvenirs of the body parts, toes and other ears and tongues and different things. So is that too far-fetched to believe that a group of people would sit there and be quiet about it? It's not too far-fetched to believe. And at the same time, you got your Supreme Court taking away the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, saying that we are beyond racism in the United States of America, to disenfranchise the black vote. That's all I got.
That's where it gets a little deep. TC, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, hi, honey. Welcome to the panel.
What up? Hi, Miss T. Hey, Ron Q. Hey, just Andrea.
Hey. What's your 2, 10, 15, 25 cents?
Listen, say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Schoolhouse rocks. You know what I'm saying? Here's my thing. I'm just going to go get gutter and I'm going to get gully with it. I believe, and I know that some folks don't believe, but there are people out here who are vampires. 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when they're trolling. That's when they're out there. They need blood, and our blood, because it's connected to carbon and a whole bunch of other minerals. Our blood is one of the most powerful bloodlines there are on the face of this earth. Everyone knows it. I mean, it is scientific. Those of us that go to school, or you don't even have to go to school. You just got to see how we do. So here's the thing. This is what I always tell my parents who have children that are going to college. The reason why we say try to get to a black college, because let me tell you something. You don't ever know what them other folks are doing. Their culture is their culture, and you don't know who's who. Try, if you can, to keep your children prayed up. I know a lot of folks like to, I guess you could say, equate certain things with witchcraft and hoodoo and whatever, but stay prayed up.
I didn't want to go.
No, stay prayed up. And definitely make sure you pray on your children. Let them know what prayers will keep these people away from them. Just because you can hang out with these people, that doesn't mean that you hang out with them and then overnight and go to an island and all this other kind of stuff. And I believe that, I want these young people to travel and go to the world and go all around the world. But guess what? It's not gonna happen. It's not
Well,
gonna happen, and these travesties are gonna happen because we don't know who's who. And you know
yeah.
what? That movie Sinners. Let me tell you something. That
Yeah,
movie
ooh,
Sinners. That movie.
you know what? You know what?
Okay.
I'm not gonna cut you off because you know from my conversations on these latest video, the sectors I be in, the different things I see, I believe just the way you believe. I
Boom.
believe just the way you believe, but not all people will get that deep into it. But I believe just the way you believe. A lot of shit is done, right? Right in front of our faces. And
Mhm.
because we're not on that level of thinking, we don't believe. We think they just producing shows. When you said about the blood, we can go there, but I don't know if everybody's ready for that. Because now, if we want to go there, and y'all just stand by. If we want to go there, then I've also heard too that this could have been allegedly, throw that allegedly sign up, a sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Is what it could have been, like a ritual type thing, but everybody's not gonna get into that. What's happening, Cynthia? Everybody's not gonna get into that, and I think we have to take that one to the next level, TC, because I hear what you're saying. Trust me,
Okay.
and it very well could be that, but
Hmm.
that's not where I think some people are at. But I want to play this for you guys because Ronnie Q, I'm glad you cleared it up. I thought you said that they had a pipe on it, but let me play this for y'all right quick, okay? Now, this is what I heard today. Oh my word, my discernment says no. I pray not. I pray not. Okay. Okay, free thinker. Just hold on. Listen to this. I don't know where this guy got this shit. Again, is alleged. I'm not saying it, but this is what I think it is. Listen to this shit. Now, it's plausible. Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
The pool party that took place after the island, and you can see clearly in Evan's Instagram post, Nolan is there. Witnesses have put out statements saying that an altercation took place between Nolan, Evan, and two other boys, and the boys proceeded to beat Nolan to death with a metal bar and urinate on him. And all those people there watched and did nothing about it. They are no better than the people that killed him. The reason that Nolan's phone pinged on the island is because they went back and they dumped his body after they killed him. These men need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law because they murdered Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells was murdered. Say his name.
Now, I'm not gonna say that because let me tell you what makes me about a little leery about what he's saying, because he referred to the pool party. And we all know, I believe we all may be in the knowings that the pool party wasn't that day. And when you said they using it for a distraction, they are throwing shit out here. Now, I don't know where this guy, but this is what I told y'all I heard today. So that's why I said, Ronnie Q, did you say a pipe? Because for some reason, this dude said a pipe.
But do I
No.
believe that? Do I believe
Oh,
a
wait.
part of what he said? Do I believe they beat Nolan? Yes, I do.
I believe
do
that.
believe that. I do believe they put that body back on that island too.
Listen, I do believe that they took that body back to that island as well, because that body was not on that island from the 4th of July. That's why that body was not waterlogged. So, what I want to know from this independent medical examiner, the condition of his body. And that is something
That would tell us a
I
lot.
want to know. I want to know if there was water in his lungs, which means he has drowned, or was he already dead when he was put in the water? These are the things that we are going to know. You notice that the Mississippi medical examiner, they're not putting out their findings. They're talking about they're waiting on toxicology reports. We're not going to forget that about the argument about I can't have that stuff in my body. I'm not doing that. I can't have that stuff in my body because he had a Division I practice that he had to be at because he was a football player taking his life seriously, and these people, these non-black people who he was with were allegedly deep into booger sugar.
Yeah, well, that's what.
Yeah.
Well, let's
and
look
that's
at
what I believe. That's what that argument on. I believe that's what won that argument on that island because Nolan wasn't doing that. Nolan's daddy told on Good Morning America that he was taking his football serious. Nolan's daddy said he told Nolan you can't put nothing in your body. They're gonna test you. So that's why they mad. I believe they was mad and was jealous of him.
Hold on. And do you think that only Nolan's daddy knew that he was going to be tested? Do you think that these people want the best of you? Do you think that these people try to get you caught up in a trick bag because they know you're going to be tested and they don't want you to excel? What you think?
Hold on.
And you say no, and they can't get you in that trick bag to get something in your body when they know you're gonna be tested. And who you think you better than us? My father is a surgeon. My stepmother is a judge. My father is a surgeon. You think you better than us?
I heard that, Ronnie Q. I heard that too. I just didn't want to veer off. But I heard that these boys, Nolan was hanging around with them. They were his friends from before. However, because he was excelling, they became jealous of him because he wanted to get out of the group.
Yes.
Because they were a group that hung together. But because he was excelling and he was going, his life was going in a different direction, he wanted to depart from them.
Yes.
And that's when they got mad with him. Like Ronnie Q is saying, you think you better than me, my mother? Yep. And they said that could have possibly caused this boy his demise. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, from jealousy.
Yes. Everybody, I tell my kids, everybody ain't your friend. All kinfolks ain't kinfolks.
There you go.
Okay?
There you go.
And exactly, and Andrea, and we've heard our parents say this more times than not. We've heard, and we know that as soon as they see us, and then as soon as they get around us, and as soon as they get a chance to see our mamas, and they're like, wow, look at how they doing. And then especially when we go to their schools and we excel over them and pass them, and now you're in their cities. Now you're in their politics. And that's why I tell people, be mindful of where you drop your children off. Be careful because as college, right? Because college students are always gonna go. They're gonna explore, the adventuring and things of that nature. And guess what? In those little cities that some of these places are in, they specifically wait for the new freshmen, okay, and the freshman class because they already know.
Beyond that, he's at home. But he's not in a new town. He's at home. He's with people who he grew up around. He's excelling above and beyond people he grew up around, with people who grew up with parents that were lawyers, own their own law firms. Some of them parents are still attorneys, doctors. These are his peers he grew up amongst, and he's excelling above them without his parents. He don't have to lean on his parents. He's doing it by himself. Do you think that they were not pressed to put him in a chokehold, to stranglehold his opportunity to step away and be his greatest self without having to lean on his parents like they have to lean on theirs? Come on now.
And everything is normally given to them, and we have to earn and that could be the difference.
But
Let me,
you know what?
okay,
You know,
so hold on.
okay.
Hold on, and then I'm gonna let you jump back in. So, Free Thinker, thank you for joining me, Free Thinker. I've seen her in some of these areas as well, so I know she's probably knowledgeable. She said that his funeral is Monday. The autopsy is complete. So I asked her what was the conclusion. She said they have not released the conclusion as of yet.
Ben Crump is holding on to that tight. I'm sorry, he ain't gonna release that yet. He's holding on to the vest really tight with that one. He got to get more information. He got to get them text messages before he released that autopsy. He got to recover them text messages.
That's what they said.
He's holding on to He's holding on to that autopsy to the tights. Nobody knows what really happened except he will find out, because he got to get them text messages. And when he goes to the state, when he go to the authorities in Mississippi, he gonna have all his T's and dot I's. Okay, he gonna have it done, because they playing. They are playing with us.
One more thing. You know what the mother said? She said the 360, or when she was trying to trace him, said one thing, but the Snapchat says something else. So they had him in different locations. But she said that, I can't remember which apparatus had him on the land, and it had him at several different places. So not only now of Ben Crump, they have not turned over the phone to anybody yet. Do you not think that Ben Crump is getting all the information off of that phone? Now they're going to be able to tell you every place that they took Nolan's phone. Yeah, they're going to be able to tell you all of that. So, and they're going to have to answer for all of that.
All of the locations. You're right.
I did feel a little way. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm gonna tell you how I really feel. Okay, when I watched Good Morning America, and then Nolan's daddy said that they went to the person's house and asked for the phone. Let me tell you, he had people with him when they went to that house to ask for their phone, and he said they were about to destroy that house. But he wanted to say they want to be ghetto. That's what he wanted to say. But he didn't say it. He said he wanted, and he said a little girl called one of the people and said the keys are on the Xbox. Okay, and then he said he went back to the door and said the keys are on the Xbox. I would like my son's phone. Let me tell you something. You can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna destroy a house finding my daughter and my son. Okay, I'll go to jail, because I know y'all have done something to my child. You can't stop me. I would have been over there. I don't care, because I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
But you gotta calm the crazy down.
But wait a minute, you got it mixed up. Andrea.
Okay.
The father went to get the car keys. He didn't get the phone. He went to get the car keys. Let's be real clear. He went to get the car keys, and then the guy came all sleepy, like he was just waking up. So that is another part of the pool party thing. And I can't find them. It left and came back 3 to 5 minutes later. I can't find them. And then someone on the phone with him, a girl, told him the car keys are on the Xbox. He knew it. I would think he knew where the keys were. And then he came back 5 minutes later and gave him the keys, slammed the door in his face. This is his friend. And he already told him. Yeah, this is the friend who went on the boat. He already told him, hey man, he didn't want these brothers to get rambunctious, and he had to calm them down. Hey man, I'm just trying to find my son. Slammed the door in his face and would not talk to the police. Why were the police there? Because the police were called. They wouldn't open the door again for the police or the parents.
Damn. A Free Thinker got something. You know what, Andrea? You think like I think, and then when you said that, it made me think why the mom is appearing so calm. Maybe they got something up their sleeve, right? But Free Thinker said this: the state has not declared Nolan's death as an investigation, and that's the problem. That is a problem. I thought the sheriff said that it was under investigation.
No, she's right. Free thinker is right. She's right. I heard that this morning.
Well,
right.
free thinker goes around and she's to everywhere. She's very knowledgeable of shit that happens, and when things like this take place, she deep dives into this shit. That's why I'm reading what she's saying, y'all. She don't hit platforms. She don't hit platforms.
I'm just being honest. I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I got some brown sons. I'm being honest. The Nolan's mama, I feel like she was a little naive in her own self because she's half Asian and half black. Yeah, I'ma say it today. You gotta tell your black children, don't be going around these people by yourself. I'm sorry. You gotta think for them. And yes, they're 18. They don't know everything. Okay,
and that's why
people. I'm saving mine. I'm saving. I'm talking
you know what,
every day.
The thing about this.
I'm sorry. Thing too. I don't give a shit. Don't go around by yourself with a bunch of folk that's not like you. And when I said that, I had to think about it. Give me a minute, Q. You could jump back in. When I said that, I had to think because I said Mz.Teavalocity, Shankrilla Robinson was with her friends. I read every day. I see videos every day.
All black folks ain't kid folks either.
Well, just let me wait.
Okay.
Just wait so I can say why I had to kind of pull back on, that thought being so solid. Now, that's how I raised mine.
Well, tell me, I'm sorry, but Nolan's mama, sometimes I feel like the boogeyman is out there and it's coming, okay? And you got to tell your kids it's coming. And you can't sugarcoat it. You gotta tell them. I'm sorry. I went to North Carolina where my aunties live, and I went down there a couple of times. It says white sign, black sign, and every time I go to North Carolina, I get a little angry. My auntie said, "Baby," she gonna say, "Baby, it's okay. I don't understand it. Okay, I'm not used to this signs like this. It just makes me irritated." But what she said was, "I have learned to live with it." Well, I can't do it. Okay, I can't. But so you gotta.
I hear the passion in you and I see, but in order for you to get results, sometimes we have to remain calm, because if the father would have went to that house and things would have been different, he wouldn't be here to seek justice for his son. Okay. So sometimes we have to be level-headed. It's hard for me to be level-headed sometimes.
And let me say this about the investigation. See, this is the part that is really pissing me off. There is not enough direct questions. He will not return Don Lemon's phone call to even address. Now, they try to make it appear as if they are still investigating. They say they have talked to these other teams, but they don't say if they have questioned them thoroughly. What type of response have they gotten? Do they think that they need to question them more? We are not to believe that these people were seriously questioned about this. Now, them saying before the body was identified that it appeared to be a drowning. When did the sheriff become a medical examiner? Already determining that it appeared to be a drowning. But when it comes time after the autopsy has been revealed, now you can't say what the cause of death is, because now all of a sudden you have to wait for toxicology tests to come back. Give me a freaking break. I am so glad that Colin Kaepernick did pay for an independent autopsy of this child.
Yeah. And they have plenty of money. I think they have plenty of money to do what they need to do to get justice for their child.
And this is not the only one he has done this for.
Oh no!
It's another child in Texas. Another boy in Texas was drowned,
just the other day, right?
Took his clothes, his cell phone, and they've been charged.
Yes. Now, also, there was a 11-year-old girl. I forget what state she is. You can probably check it up. 11-year-old girl was taken out on a boat at nighttime with a white woman and some man, and the she is the only one who came back. They are saying that two people drowned, and they found the 11-year-old girl 2 or 3 days later. The white woman who had custody, not physical, not parental custody, who the 11-year-old girl was in her custody. The woman survived whatever happened out in the water and went home, never called the 11-year-old's mother, never called the police. And then some I don't know what it is that has come out about the man who maybe possibly lost his life as well. They're the only thing that they are saying about him is, well, you shouldn't people shouldn't be spreading things about this man's past, because so they're upset about some things that are being about this man's past, more than they are concerned about this 11-year-old girl went out with an adult woman and lost her life, and the woman didn't call her parents or the police.
Free thinker
Black
said
child.
Daniel Irvin drowned in Texas and they just arrested his friend. So thank God
Facts.
Daniel Irvin got justice because they just arrested his friend. She said they are
Was that his
tiptoeing
friend?
around just, huh?
Was that his friend? What? But was that really
Daniel
his friend?
Irvin. That's who I think you're talking about. The case. Free thinker saying they just
That's
arrested his friend.
but
And
was
Yes.
that
she's
really his
everywhere.
friend?
So let's
Was
keep
that
this in mind too, because
was that
today
really his friend?
Mm-mm. If you kill them, that's not your friend.
And
the
you don't tell them that you stripped off his clothes and hid his clothes in the bush. Was that really your friend?
I
You
mean,
don't call the police
yeah,
and tell. No, that wasn't his
that's
friend.
a good point, y'all. Is that really your friend?
That's
And the
this.
sad thing is nowadays, kids, they really don't know who's their friend and who's not their friend. They're a
And
little
that's the point. And that's
naive.
the point of the
And
They,
parents.
that's the
but
point.
And that's the point of the parents. Because let me tell you something,
y'all
Miss
gonna let me
T.
finish? Look,
My mama told me this.
can
My
I
mama told me
finish?
this. She said this one girl was not my friend, Mz.Teavalocity. Okay, and I was like, Mama, she my friend, man. And she gonna say, as long as I'm your mama, she ain't your friend. Okay, and sometimes you got to pick your kids' friends if they can't be good. They don't know how to pick kids, friends. Okay, I'm just saying. Sometimes we gotta be more visual on who our kids hanging out with. We gotta be more visual on who our kids are
What?
being friends with.
But what she's saying, you know what? What she's saying right here. She's saying, of course, that's not what his of course that wasn't his friend. She said, but the only hold on. She said the only charge that so-called friend with obstruction, of course, we know that wasn't his friend. Then she said, the point is Daniel thought it was his friend when he left the house that morning. Good point. Because he thought
Facts
it
aren't
was his friend.
feelings.
These
Facts
kids are,
aren't feelings. Facts
huh?
aren't feeling. Facts are not feelings. Your feelings are not facts. And the sooner people get a hold of this, like the young brother who is presented to be his friend, who is sitting up here talking about he cannot answer the question if this was racially motivated, talking to TMZ, all playing in his hair and looking from side to side and all of this type of stuff. Time is over for all of this shoe shuffle.
But Ronnie Q, that's how we look at it.
Well,
That's
maybe
how
that's
we look at
maybe
it.
that's a
I
broader
agree.
conversation now. Maybe
Hold,
that's a
hold
broader
on.
conversation or who your
Hold
friend
on.
is.
Hold on. I get everybody's point here. That's how we look at it. Because of probably we have experienced so much and saw so much and we watch so much shit and we watch the news, we watch things happen, we watch when these innocent black kids get hung, we watch when people unalive our people, we watch so much. That's our focus. So we would be able to talk to the parents. Sometimes when you're in a community like that, you don't watch shit like that. You're not knowledgeable as a parent, so we can't always fault the parent. Yes, that's the things we do. from experience and from what we watch, right?
Let me tell you something, Miss T.
Wait,
I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let you get in here. Their parents probably don't watch that shit. They probably kind of naive to the real world. Think about where they at. Just think about that for a minute. Just
I don't think the father is naive to the real world.
Huh?
I don't think the father is naive to the real world.
He's not doing the talking, baby. It's the mom doing the talking.
She's the one who's naive.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me finish. I don't think her father is naive to the real world. Her father, the black man who said it's strange that his body didn't wash up to the next day and people were out there looking on Sunday. I don't think he's naive to the real world. But let me tell you, I played the press conference live when they went on Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and Al Sharpton did that press conference with her live, and I had to catch myself from getting angry because I understand that she is going through a lot. But see, yes, I understood that she was going through a lot, and I had to catch myself because she said this twice. She said that her son loved everybody, and she didn't care if they were black, white, purple, or marshmallow. See right here, we cannot have a serious conversation if you're not talking seriously about the conversation, because there are no purple, green, and marshmallow people. If you want to have a serious conversation about what's going on, all of these purple stripe green people that people want to add, I don't care about race. I don't care if people are purple, green, yellow, blue. No, when you're ready to have a serious conversation, we're gonna take all of this unserious dialogue out of the conversation.
I agree with you, IQ. I totally agree. I was so upset with that mother on several interviews. Her response, it seemed like she was laughing in some instances.
I spoke about that earlier. I said, but I don't want to be insensitive. Go ahead. I said, how the fuck? But go ahead, because that
I was like, is this a Filipino part of their culture? It didn't sit right with me, and it still doesn't sit right with me. But I have another philosophy about certain things of that nature. But it's just, I just felt like she was just so unprepared. She was, like you said, not serious and acting like a pure D 5-year-old.
Felt the same way about her. I was like, wait a minute. I felt like she was.
Well, listen,
it felt like she was almost a little numb to it. To me, for me, it was she was a little numb, and my feelings. Maybe I'm a little passionate, but when it comes to my son and my daughters, I'm fighting for stupid hell. And I just felt like
I don't have children. I'm not going to judge that woman, but when people are talking about serious subjects, it's not just her. If anybody, if we're having a serious conversation about serious things like that, it grinds my gears when people add, I don't care if they black, white, yellow, green stripe. You're not being serious about the conversation. As far as I'm concerned. So that is just a personal peeve of mine. I'm not going to beat up on the woman. I don't have a child that I've loved and I've lost. I felt a whole lot of compassion for her when they wrote out the statement when they announced when his funeral is going to be. And she said, my son, forever 18. She's going through a lot as well. Right. But I don't like it put out there because I just want it to be taken seriously by everyone. And when you add unserious verbiage to it, then you give allowance to people to not take it serious, in my opinion. But I have no ill will for that woman. I have no idea what she's going through.
But they did. A reporter did ask the dad this morning why Mississippi, And the dad said, because my brothers and my uncles, they play football down here. And so that's why we stayed down here, because the reporter was like, why did y'all choose Mississippi? Okay.
You
And
can't
then,
run from everywhere. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
you
That's true.
live where you live.
Yes, but the thing, I still believe, I'm just saying, she said the clear people was coming over to her house and stuff like that too. Look, I'm just saying, in that area Nolan was comfortable. He was very comfortable being the only, I'm not saying the only black person, but he was very comfortable being around the clear people. And I'm just saying, and even as a child, I never grew up in North Carolina, but my mom and daddy born and raised North Carolina. And they told us when we go home and visit our grandparents how things used to be and stuff. And even though I live in California, I'm still hypersensitive of how things is in the South. We don't forget that stuff. The parents tell us, and I tell my kids. So I'm just saying, I don't feel, and they asked her, did you teach Nolan and his brother about Black history? She said they did at home, because in the history books, it wasn't available in the school. That's what she said, the mother.
Okay. All right.
I
So
have a
listen,
question.
let me
I have a
clear.
question.
Okay, let me just clear this up. Free thinkers said laughing is the trauma response. That is correct. From my knowledge,
That's true. That's
that
true.
is true. It's just hard for sometimes because we haven't experienced it. We don't know how we would respond, especially when cameras are always in your face and you have to go up there and speak. That could be a way of her dealing with it. So you right, Ronnie Q. We don't want to lessen this lady's grief, her emotions, and we don't want to make them as if they are the target of why their son made decisions or why they chose to live. We don't want, we want to keep that clear. You have a right to live where you want to live. You have a right to befriend who you want to befriend. We just feel some certain way because of things we have experienced. I'm going to still stand on this. I don't think that, especially in this climate, but it was before here, especially in this climate, that I would want to be the only Black woman somewhere with a group of Caucasian friends out going out with them and doing all that with them. I just don't feel comfortable, and I have to do what my spirit leads me to do and what makes me comfortable. Go
That's
ahead.
not my thing.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
I have a question for, I know free thinkers in the chat, but maybe we can chime in. And she wrote, she knows what she is doing. Being likable will get the answers, or will get answers. I wanna kind of understand what that means. What does, I was saying, I said that the laughing, she's just not seem,
It-
she doesn't seem too serious to me. I thought that the laughing was out of order. The laughing is a trauma response of,
okay.
I just want
TC.
to understand.
I want to tell you, I felt the same way. I felt a little uncomfortable when I saw it as well. You're not by yourself. And I spoke about it earlier. Free thinker is looking at it from another perspective, and I know why she's saying that it's a trauma response. The mom knows what she's doing. To be likable, you may get more answers. I don't know too much about that, but she's answering for those. She's answering you. She said, I'm mad at those white boys. My kids have been to it. They will never be the only because my aunts will be there with them. Okay. She liked to for you to answer free thinker, and I know you don't get up on platform. She wants you to answer, and
And
I
some
did
people have nervous laughter.
wait. I didn't
No. I'm
try,
not talking about the laughter. I mean, I am talking about the laughter, but
but
my
she's saying the
question is,
likability.
in the likable, she knows what she's doing. Being likable will get answers. So I'm really just asking, is that a strategy that maybe
That's
the prosecution uses, or is that a strategy, is that, like, I just want to understand where the science is in that.
okay. I'm gonna tell you. I didn't want to say nothing, but she's telling you she's trained in trauma.
Right,
So
I got it.
that's why.
I'm reading it.
So
Okay.
let her say it. Go
Oh,
ahead.
she said she'll come up. Hold the question.
Oh,
Okay, cool. Thank
oh,
you.
she'll come up.
Cool. Excellent.
Excellent. But
Because see,
you know what?
here's the thing. We all have our different expertise or we
Right.
all have different experiences and things of that nature. And if I mean, and I've heard of the trauma, the laughing and things of that nature, but I just want to get where Free Thinker is coming from, because there's probably something much more to it, and I just kind of want to know it. I want to understand it, and I want to be hip to it. I'd like to, I just want to get put on game.
But I understood. See, I understood like Ronnie Q. Some people have nervous laughter and different things, and I know that is probably a response, a trauma response. However, I can't feel it. I didn't have the vibe for it, and maybe because I'm not trained in that area per se, deep trained in that area. But I know it could be a trauma response. I just couldn't feel it, TC. Because
Right.
I would think maybe for me, and I'm not saying about the mother, I'm saying about Mz.Teavalocity. I think I would be so fucked up that I didn't have room to laugh. That's something I couldn't mask. But again, I'm not her. And we don't know what's going on in her head. And I'm not going to take away her sorrow or her hurt for her missing son, for her unalive son. But for me, I don't think I could respond like that. I felt the same thing you felt, TC, but we're going to go on. Free Thinker said, give her a minute.
But to be honest, I couldn't sit there. I would be enraged.
I would be enraged.
I would be enraged. I'm ready to fight. And so I would need a spokesperson. I'm just being honest. I would need a spokesperson because I'm gonna be enraged and I'll be kicking.
Everybody can't act like that, Andrea. I'm like,
I know you can't. I know you can't act like that. That's what I'm saying. I know who I am. I'm gonna need a spokesperson.
So we know us
because I know who I am. Because
I get where you coming from though, and that's what we don't want to do. We never want to seem insensitive, even when we get into these topics. We want to be unbiased. We want to look at all sides and see. So I don't ever want to.
I can't be unbiased. I got a black son and a brown son. I can't be unbiased because let me tell you something. My son done been pulled over about 27 times, and every time they say it because you it's something you pulled over. No, you driving because you're black. No, you got a nice car. No, I can't be biased. I have seen my son. I'm going to the gas station down the street from my house. My son has pulled out his car, and when I pulled up, I asked the cop, "Why is my son out the car?" I'm afraid of him. I said, "Really? You afraid of him?"
Yeah.
Really?
And I think experience, like I said, I think our it could be some of our background, some of our experiences and stuff. Make us feel the way we feel. That's why I deeply feel I'm gonna go ahead with what y'all said as far as Ben Crump being the best, his legal team, and he's gonna get the answer. I really believe in my heart of hearts that this is not going to go the way that we expected. Because
if we go with your scenario, and then because this is my aunt, he told me the other day when I talked to her on the phone. I talked to her because she's from North Carolina.
Sometimes you can let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And the reason why is because of the experience that we have had all these many years, and that we still haven't. And it has something to do with politics as well, the climate that we in. I don't believe we're going to get the outcome that we're looking for. But just go ahead, baby. Go ahead now.
Well, if we say change is coming and change supposed to be here, if we say all that and we say we pray and all that, and then this is still happening to us, okay, happening to our black boys and girls. What do you tell our kids then? Because I'm asking my aunt the same thing. Because let me tell you something. This Nolan situation have affected me deeply. Okay, I had to turn my phone off and stop watching it because I'm so invested and I'm so wants to know what happened to that young man. And
Me too.
I mourn for him. I mourn for him. The reason I mourn for him because he had a promise. He had a life ahead of him that he was going to be whatever he wanted to be.
And it could be very well that those kids, you know, like I told y'all, I went somewhere else and I heard someone speak and they was like that he wanted to get away from those kids because he was doing well and he expected to flourish beyond them. And they didn't like that. They had became jealous of him, and that's why some of this took place. But again, we all have to really just wait for the investigation. We praying and hoping that justice will be served, that they don't come back with no bullshit, you know, because we know better. But then again, let's wait for that, and then we'll just continue on that. Ronnie Q, go ahead. You got something to say? Ronnie Q probably done dip down and walk the dogs. TC, you got something to say? We waiting for Free Thinker.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Free Thinker.
She's coming. Yeah, she's coming.
I would like to. Well, I guess we're going to ask a question about that.
But I'm like you. I'm kind of wondering, and let's let her answer, because how would likability get her answers? I don't know, by smiling, and I would have accepted it was a trauma response, and at that, that's what I would accept. It. Oh, damn, it's a trauma response. I could see that because everybody acts a little different. But the likability part, yeah, I like to know what likability part. How does that?
What does that mean?
You know, I told you I felt the same way you did, TC. I said that early in the video. You wasn't here. But again, please make sure you hit the like button. I thank you, ladies, for joining me. Again, this is not going to go away. We're going to keep it alive as much as we can. The unfortunate thing is when these situations happen in maybe a month time or more, it does go away because something else happens to take the place of it, and then we're focused on that. And it seems like we always fucking focused on getting justice for our people. That's just the fact.
Sometimes it takes years. Look how many years it took for nothing to happen in the Breonna Taylor case. Yeah. Absolutely nothing happened.
Yeah.
But you know, you say that, Mz.Teavalocity, and I agree with you. But I'm gonna say, look, let's unpack that and let's look at how some of the ancestors back in the day, when there were lynchings and there were all of these atrocities that were occurring in our communities, Northwest, East, and South. It didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Guess what? We had ways in which we made sure that this information, or our family's information, continued, that we never forgot. And we're here now in an age of this digital age, this technology, where it is forever. And how come these folks don't utilize the tools that
spoken word is forever. Spoken word is forever. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. History,
and so, but you interrupted me in the middle of a thought.
No, I was talking. I was talking, and I said that it is forever. Mm-hmm. So why don't we utilize
what I was saying about Breonna Taylor? Breonna Taylor, it took years for her case to be thoroughly adjudicated through the courts, and nothing happened to the officers. However, what happened in Benjamin Crump being a part of that case, it gave it a national platform, a national profile. Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah, Freaky, for joining me.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? We can hear you. Can't y'all hear her? You just muted yourself.
We hear her.
We hear you. Well, she just muted herself. Maybe.
Okay, can you hear? Okay, I think I can hear you guys.
We can
hear us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I want to ask I want to let TC know I'm not offended by the question because it's hard to explain in the chat.
Mhm.
What I mean.
Oh shit, she went out. You went out. We can't hear you now.
Think about our ancestors.
Start
How
all
we
over.
got.
Your sound went out.
Uh-oh. Ah,
We hear you now,
We
but
hear
go
you
start
now.
all over.
okay. Okay, I'm not familiar with this. Okay. How they had to like you. This woman has no answers. And these white people have lawyered up. They are silent. They are not telling her anything. Her husband has his own trauma response, which is he's raged. You can see it.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like a bull. She's standing in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
when he
agree with
does
that.
talk, I mean, it's brief. And you can hear his voice cracking. And she is the one that
Well,
your
yeah.
nervous system. When she,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the interview, because at first I had the same response you ladies had.
Oh
But
yeah.
then when I looked at the interviews, if you look at the times when she starts that laughing,
Mm-hmm.
and the laughing that's not a part of a joke that her son did, it is during those rough times
Damn, you keep going out, but
trying to
well,
distance herself from that emotion. She's trying to regulate her system so that she can continue.
okay.
When I say, regardless of her being mixed with Filipino, she's still going to be seen as a black woman, woman of color, black woman. She identifies herself as black. So I'll go with that. They're not going to accept tears. They don't care about our tears. We've been crying since they sold our children away from us. We've been crying since they took us from our land. They don't give a damn about our tears.
Mm-mm.
How they see us is laughing, jolly. Then that helps them, that soothes their emotions, that soothes their fear of a black planet. And so therefore, when you do that, you can get next to that person and you can get information. Her goal is one thing: get answers of her baby. And that's what I mean about she could be an activist later. Because despite her interview that said they don't think it has anything to do with color at that one point when they said that, if they really thought that, we never would have seen Ben Crump. They think
Mhm.
that. She's in that community. She went to high school with those people. Her and her husband are from that area. And
I don't think
so,
she said that. Did she say that?
did she say that?
That she didn't think it was about race?
Her
Yes,
very
he
first
did.
interview that I saw, they
Yeah.
tried to go that route. And I was like, why did she do that? What are they talking about? You know, when she does that purple and all the other junk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, she tried to play the game that way and it didn't open up doors. And I was like, she knows what it is. They know what it is because she wouldn't have contacted Ben Crump. She wouldn't have been on social media like she was if she really
Ah,
felt that.
basically, so she can get her community back and like the black community, because she knows
Exactly.
the racial thing. Nice point there. Great.
Yeah. She's
Okay.
going up against a judge in that community
Yeah.
who
Hell yeah.
also went to high school with her.
Who
Yeah.
Everybody
also
has shut down. Huh?
who also had the original Confederate Mississippi flag in her
Exactly.
profile pic.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And they talking about
Yes.
why
Yep.
would we say it's about race or is this and why? I don't fucking understand, y'all. Of course it is.
Right.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And that's a good point you made, free thinker,
Mhm.
that her response was a trauma response, which is normal. So now we know that. But the likability part was just we needed clarification
Yeah.
on.
I couldn't
Thank you.
figure how to type that. That's why I clicked the
Yeah.
link because the like they whenever we had when we did uprise because you listen to the storybooks, the history books that they whitewash, they act like we were just docile slaves. We were always
Mhm.
trying to uprise. And most of the time, the uprising started in the house with
Right.
the slave that the master liked.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it
So that's
normally,
the likability. So
it
I'm
was
sorry.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
No, I started to say something. You go. I apologize.
Oh, okay. So I mean, Miss T, you know, I get obsessed with this stuff. I watch every little show, watch every interview, and I do a notebook and I'm like, what did they say here? What did they say there? Make sure that stuff matches. And so as time went on, I caught on because I said, okay, is she like want to be around white people, you know? And she's a registered nurse. She works in a hospital. And also, I learned another piece. She's comfortable with the camera because she was a beauty influencer. That's what she does as a hobby.
Right, she
Oh.
does.
So
Yeah.
she's more comfortable with the camera because if you look, I mean, I've watched Body. I'll look and like when he's about to, she'll touch him. And in one interview, she said, we have to keep our composure. And because she was kind of reminding him, I have to send you that interview because it was pretty interesting. Because he was getting kind of upset. He said, I got to stay strong for my family. And his voice cracked. And then she said, we have to keep each other accountable to keep our composure.
I saw that part. Now, I saw a little clip of that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I did see that, Andre. I did.
And Free Thinker, I just want to say thank you. You know, I only asked the question not because I just want to understand, you know, where you're coming from, where we're all coming from, because like I know we all have a variety of, you know, different experiences. And I appreciate it. You know, sometimes like you say in the chat, it types one way, it seems one way, but when we come up and we have these discussions, so I appreciate you. And I also now understand what you're talking about. And especially as it pertains to, I did not know that she had gone to school with these people. She knows these people.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, now I understand because I think of it from where I come from, and I know I grew up in Brooklyn, and I know the people I grew up with. I know them folks. Okay, it was only 20 Black people in my high school, so I know them folks. And so when you know them people, okay, you know what you know, and you know how you have to move. So Free Thinker, I really appreciate what you said, and I understand you know what the maneuvers are at this particular point. I do understand. So thank you for that.
I understand too, because I was with TC.
Right.
I would have been with you. I would have been with you guys too, because it wasn't very clear. When I reread it, I said, "Oh, let me go up," because I could see how that sounds like you know, like she's shucking and jiving. No, I just have been watching her over and over, and because again, despite what I know, I said, "What the hell is she laughing about?"
Yeah, that's
And then as time went on, and I watched over and over and over, I said, "Okay." She's trying to distance herself from that emotion. She's trying to regulate her nervous system. We all do it in one way. Like me, I go into a rage. That's my way because I'm like, you know, I just start bust, and then I'll try to calm myself down. Some people, they will accept Karen's tears, but they won't accept Keisha's tears. If she's laying and who, even though she's mixed, who has held up the world? It's the Black woman. We always had to be strong. And she has to get the respect of other Black people. Because if she just fall and the difference. Think about Carmelo Anthony's parents. They're very quiet. And their quietness resulted in this situation. I'm not blaming it on them, but I'm saying in the time that they could talk before the gag order, we didn't hear them.
Yeah, they didn't speak very much. That's true.
And
so let me ask you this question, and then you guys, I'm gonna go around and wrap it up. So, do you really believe that justice will be served
for Nolan?
Yeah, for Nolan.
Yeah, you know, but I'm optimistic about stuff. I'm always thinking, and that's why my heart breaks when I'm found wrong. So my optimistic self says yes. My From looking at this and how they're allowing these people to have time to clean the boat, to have time to
Yeah,
scrub his phone, to have time to go to breakfast and I'm just saying. I mean, they went to breakfast the next day. They went to bed. They're playing the video
oh,
game. The fact that they've allowed them to have time, it's really looking like um, it may not be served in the way I'd like.
all right, that's what I
Yeah.
want to know. I think because so much has gone on from the little bit, you guys were very, very informative to me. I appreciate it because you gave me, I still feel the same way. Though. I'm not going to change on how I feel. I just know because maybe because of our experience and more of this shit is happening, you guys nowadays, that I think they're gonna get juked out of this one. And because the cover up started at the very beginning, like I said as a joke, but I believe that shit was called in. And that's all I'm gonna say. Ron Q, is your turn.
Um, hmm. Oh, I hope that there's justice if it is proven that his life is taken from him. I really hope that there's justice. And if it's proven that he died any other way than drowning accidentally, I hope that there's justice. But like who was this free thinker said, there has been a lot of time for bruises and wounds to
Yeah.
heal on people who still have uh, healing cells going through their bodies at this point. So a lot of things have been given time to, be hidden very well.
Right.
To be washed away, serve proved like it has never happened. So it may be hard, but what they cannot wash away is all the information that they erased on those phones. All
That's
the
what they. Mhm.
Snapchat is
Yeah.
cooperating with the investigation.
Mm.
Now,
Mhm.
when they say that Snapchat is cooperating with the investigation, I hope that they are cooperating with Benjamin Crump's investigation as well. But it is said that they are cooperating with the investigation. So if they are cooperating with him as well, he will have all of the information that they tried to scrub. Also, all the information from all of these Instagram accounts that were shut down and
Yeah.
blocked and locked,
Yeah.
all of that information will be available as well. So let's hope that there is justice for him if they were lying.
That's one thing you can't do. You can't scrub away shit from the internet and you can't scrub it away from the phones. There's a way to get to whatever that was on the Snapchat, the whatever, social media
Clouds.
in the clouds is they are always there. And I just hope that that's where the majority of the information comes from for them to get the justice that what was in that telephone plays an important part on how these people.
And all of the calls that came into the Coast Guard. I really hope they get into that. There was a body part that washed up something around 3 in the morning. The admission of that.
Good point. Andrea,
Mm,
is
I
she still?
I have the right to change my opinion when I hear that autopsy and then toxicology reports. I
That's
want
a,
that's
that's a very
that's what
important
I'm
part.
waiting. The autopsy and the toxicology report, because if the toxicology report shows that it was something in his system like alcohol, like substances, then I might feel something a little different.
Mm, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. Hope not. Go ahead and take it away, TC.
So, I'm listen. There are a lot of prayer warriors out here right now.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of social media. We have this real-time information, and we're also seeing these situations occurring with our folks. And so I'm going to be honest with you that I think that there are going to be levels to this. Levels. I think there's going to be a time when it's not going to seem like it's going right. It's not going to seem like justice is coming, but there's going to be something, divine intervention. Divine intervention is going to come about. And when that divine intervention hit, and it's going to be something as small as a chat was on and somebody found some information, that it's going to be readmissible into this case. It will open it back up. And then because I'm telling you, these social media folks, they're not going to let it go.
No.
They're going to keep on, and they're going to keep on looking at stuff and keep on. And it's going to be more to it. So, just Andrea, she has a good point. I'm waiting for some of the body, the information about what's the body, the body part, the body situation. But I'm going to also say that we're going to have to watch. This is going to be layers to it. And I'm going to be honest with you, at the very end, I think we're gonna get some fine messages about who people really are, and how to turn on our own discernment. Because Black people, turn on your discernment. We have got to look at folks for who they are, not for who we want them to be, including ourselves.
I agree with that as well. And I'm going to say this. I truly, truly appreciate all you for joining me, because I didn't know as much as you all. And see, that's why when you get these big channels and podcasts, it's always a team. So we acted as a team, and I appreciate you all, because I couldn't carry it much further if it wasn't for you all participation. I really do appreciate you. And I hopefully that you guys will stick around and come when I have other discussions. I'm going to stay on this Nolan one for a minute. However, I'm going to jump to something else as well. But if you see anything developing, Andrea, she shoots me a what is that, Andrea? Instagram.
A message.
Because there's still a lot of cases out there. And when I was listening to Don Lemon today, and I was listening to Monique was passionate about how many more people out there of color that things have happened to, that our attention has not been focused on. And that's what happens. Something happened. We talk about it for a little bit, and then something else comes along and snatch our attention, and we start focusing on that. And we focus heavily upon that. And then forget about something else. I hope Nolan Wells' name stays alive for a long, long time until we get justice, because I think we all know that kid, I just don't believe in my heart and my spirit, drowned. I don't believe it. No matter what they come back with, it'll be a lot of us that don't believe they answered anyway. Right?
Well, I can't say I don't believe he drowned, but if he drowned, I think it would be some assistant drowning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your weekend.
Monica, let me ask you a quick question. I know Freethinker probably look at this. Do you watch I've Had It and the Midas Touch?
I love.
I always watch them.
I watch the Midas Touch.
No, I didn't know. I love the Midas Touch.
I watch them.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. They had two. The Midas Touch have two medical doctors. Oh my God! You should have.
I know, Ronnie Q. I swear.
Did you see their presentation on this topic matter where they talked about Emmett Till, the reason? this weekend. They talked about Emmett Till, who this was done in Mississippi, who was the catalyst for the civil rights the whole sparking of civil rights, because she would not allow his casket to be closed and allow people to not know what they did to her son's body. And now here we are in 2026 with the same thing, with the mother being told that she shouldn't she don't want to look at the body. They're going to have to identify it through dental records. And the same weekend this happened, he's out there with his friends, quote unquote friends, and we have white supremacists walking through Washington, D.C. with Confederate flags the same weekend. This same weekend, these MAGA people have to be rescued from the storm. These MAGA people who want to understand new history are okay with history being revised and erased. And where did these MAGA people wind up? These MAGA people wound up in the African American Museum right across from where Emmett Till casket lies and rests. This is where they had to take refuge.
And my mother said they should have made him come around to the back.
They should have made them walk around.
Yeah. Like they do. You guys, that's why, see that right there. I didn't see the might have, but right there is what really makes me a little leery about this situation as well.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that. I thought, this is Mamie. Well, the mom. That's the. I said, this is Mamie all over again, because Emmett Till was found where? In water. This young man found in water. Emmett Till was beat. This boy was beat. Emmett Till got dragged out by a group of white men. Here we go. And I just said, this is Mamie all over again. And
yes, indeed. And your Supreme Court told you that we are beyond race and has repealed Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, because they proclaim that this nation is beyond a racist nation. Let that sink in. Okay. Now, one last thing to look for on Thursday. Your president is supposed to be making an address. They recouped all the voting data from Fulton County, Georgia. It has been stated that he is going to say Warnock and Ossoff were illegitimate senators, but now he may have backed off on it to try to say that the voting in 2020 was stolen. They are on the warpath to rescind the effectiveness of the black vote, because Fulton County is the largest black voting county in Georgia. That's about the black vote.
I am so scared about that. No, I'm so afraid about that too, Ronnie Q. And
that's about the black vote.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Free Think. I appreciate you and your knowledge. Ronnie Q, I'm even leery about that as well. This election coming up. And one day we'll get to it. I got to get out here. But I think this shit that they doing, they are stacking the deck for this guy to run a third term. Now, I know we are going, the Constitution. These mofos are going to find something or manipulate something in that Constitution to allow this motherfucker to run again. I believe it. Now, that's just me. I hope I'm wrong.
All right, Mz.Teavalocity. It was good talking to you, ladies. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Velocity. And I gotta get out of the way. I appreciate y'all so much.
And just Andrea, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you,
Peace.
Nancy
And to
Grace,
the
for your
chat, thank you,
commentary.
Free Thinker. Also, see you, Andrea.
Mhm.
How do I get the hell down from here?
You want me to put you down, but I don't want to. I just removed you. There you go. I removed y'all. Wow, this y'all put. I agree, Free Thinker. This has been longer than I expected, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And when I say I enjoy when you guys engage, because a lot of things I don't see, I'm only getting clips of it. Then y'all know my mind sometimes is just all over the place. But I truly, truly appreciate you guys for joining me today and keep me abreast. And if there's anything else that you want to talk about, just let me know. I'm here for it. I don't care. I don't care if it's 10 of us in here. We still gonna talk about it, y'all. We gonna talk about it. Thank you, Regina. I will see. I did not know that guy David may get away with it, but it took them so long too to investigate that and put shit together. Some things was washed away. But thank you so much. I'll try to look into it. I did not know David he might get off. I didn't know that. For what is that the one you talking about? The one with Celeste, the little girl Celeste? Evidence was tampered with and he might be released from jail. I don't know. I didn't know that. Well, you guys, thank you. I appreciate you joining me. Excellent commentary. Thank you, Regina, for always being an outstanding supporter along with the rest of y'all. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks for the clarity. Yes, thank you. I knew she could do it. I just didn't want to tell y'all she into that shit. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Catch y'all on the flip side.